As always, do a mic check. As long as you say I sound okay, we'll have at it. Oh, baby. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2. We're going to talk some shit. So we'll see how all that goes. Thanks for joining me on episode 30. Episode 30. People saying I'm late. It's 8:27. I usually start at 8:30. Usually you guys get the 8:15 treatment, but thank you. Sound is good. Okay, so episode 30, we're going to talk a lot about GT500 today and Texas 2K being, I don't know. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to call Texas 2K right now with the heavyweight class. So let me give you a little bit of a background. Texas 2K, race that happens in March in Houston or Royal Purple Raceway. Last year, they introduced a heavyweight class, and the cars that entered were CTSV, V3s, V2s, Hellcats, Chargers, Demons. Okay, that's fine. So this year, because Mustangs are pretty heavy, that guy behind me right there, race weight was close to 4,000 pounds. They said, okay, so John Jr. went in there and said, I want to run for the heavyweight class. And he posted a picture of the black bean, the black 2018 Mustang that has run 850s with a Whipple supercharger, saying, hey, we're ready. We're ready to fly. Let's get after it. We've been accepted to run the heavyweight class in Texas 2K. Apparently, either Demon guys got butthurt or CTSV guys got butthurt, but they started complaining. I'm speculating. This is 100% speculation. I'm speculating that somebody called and said, this is bullshit. Why are you allowing Mustangs in the class? They're not heavyweights. Actually, a fully loaded premium Mustang race weight is close to 4,100 plus pounds. And if you got a big boy behind the wheel, guess what? It can be a 4,200 pound car. In my opinion, it could be a Fox body that weighs 4,200 pounds can get in that class and do its thing. But they said it's not in the spirit of the class. Okay, so a Demon with a 7-liter motor, a huge supercharger, IRS weighing 42 plus 100 pounds would not be a good race against a 4,200 pound 5-liter with like a 3-liter supercharger or a set of turbos. I don't understand what they mean that it is not in the spirit of the class. Does that mean they're afraid of Mustangs? Because guys, I'm sorry, Texas 2K is now Mustang 2K. That's right, it is Mustang 2K. If you look at the streetcar class, it is all Mustangs, bro. Sorry. Every single round, you're either going to see an S197 or a turbo S550 in that class, plain and simple. So then the heavyweight class, where a lot of street-driven Mustangs that have a full interior, a sound system, and a supercharger with maybe a built motor or even stock motor, because at Mod Nationals, a couple of stock motor Mustangs were running 870s, 860s. Why is that not in the spirit of the class if it meets the weight requirement, if it meets the minimum weight requirement? It's a 5-liter Mustang. Are they afraid of Mustangs? Are Demon guys and Hellcat guys, CTSV guys complaining why are Mustangs allowed in this class? They allowed a truck in that class. That's right. They allowed an all-wheel drive truck in that class. So as of now, there are only 2 Mustangs, as far as I know, that are going to be in the heavy street class or the heavyweight class, which is Joanna Licabelli. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but Joanna's car, which is like a Whipple car that runs low 9s or high 8s, and the Black Bean that Lund Racing owns that runs well into the 8s in good weather. So that'll be interesting to see what happens and what the field is like. Demons, Dodge Demons, aren't some of modded Demons running 8s? Am I crazy? Or are some modded Demons running 8 seconds in the quarter mile? What's the problem? Bigger motor, same weight, 4,200 or so pounds. Why can't it be a heads-up deal if a Mustang weighs the exact same amount? I think what they're preventing is cars like Mustangs that have a decided advantage because they're very, very quick. They don't want that car that's quote-unquote small dominating that class, even if it's heavy. Imagine putting a, 4,200 pound X275 car. Shit's going to break because of the weight, the sheer weight of the car. But it sounds like to me that a bunch of guys are scared of a 4,200. Why are you afraid of 4,200 pound Mustang? If something like this rolls up to that class, this car was a 9-1 car the way it sat at 4,000 pounds. Why can it not run in that class? Why are you negating Mustangs running any class if they meet the minimum requirement? Why not make it an IRS 4,000 plus pound class to keep the trucks away, to keep the Fox bodies away, to keep anything race car shit away from entering the class as long as they meet the minimum rate requirement? Make it IRS, make it 4,000 plus pounds, and let's see who's got the baddest, the biggest balls of the bunch. But no, unfortunately, people at Texas 2K succumbed to the pressure of people criticizing the fact that they were allowing Mustangs to get into the heavyweight class. Unbelievable that Hellcat Demon CTSV owners are potentially complaining to not let Mustangs, this little car right here, in the class. That's crazy to me. You should allow anything that meets the minimum weight requirement and has an IRS in that class. There's a truck in the class. There's a truck in the class. It's so stupid. Joe Jackson says, why be scared to face change? Weight is weight. Everyone must meet. Make your shit faster instead of whining. Keep it interesting. I agree 100%. Absolutely. They should allow Mustangs in the class. But I understand. I think what's happening at Texas 2K, slowly but surely, Mustangs are dominating the car count, right? Because Mustangs are absolutely killing it. Look at the GT500, for example. Let's get on GT500. Let's do a segue. The new GT500 weighs over 4,000 pounds. With minimal mods, it can go 9's. Now, before you guys get your panties in a wad, the Evo car that went to Florida, yeah, it did have a ported blower. Yeah, it did have headers. Yeah, it did have all this stuff. And someone did the actual math, and it ended up being like 11,000 in mods. Understand this, guys. The Lund Racing white car has about 2,800 in mods, and it made 900 real horsepower. The limiting factor in the GT500 is the transmission. The fucking mission. Okay, we do not have access to the TCM. So what's going to happen is, what's going to happen more than likely is people are going to get access to the TCM and blow it up. Blow up the transmission. Why? Because once you allow that car to rev any higher than 3,200 and apply the clutches quicker, because if you guys hear that car, whoa. Coyote Fury says, what's up with Brent Speed taking credit for tuning that GT350? Didn't you tune it with Lund? Seems like they're taking credit for it. Just curious. Sorry, off topic. Coyote Fury, I tuned a blue GT350. If it's a white GT350, I did not tune it. Back on GT500. The moment you start launching the GT500 above 3,200 RPMs and not allowing the clutches to slip, have you heard how a GT500 sounds launching? It's like bum 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 boo. It does this clutch slip, which it needs to do to not grenade shit, to not cause wheel hop. If you were to launch that transmission any higher in RPM, the clutches will slip even more. And if you make the clutches not slip, guess what, buddy? Drag radials go out the window and slicks come into play. AKA, you have to treat it like a stick car. Now that's going to be the problem, because guys are so used to treating this like an automatic. They're going to go, wait a minute, you can't do big, stupid, long burnouts? No. Why? The clutches get hot, as Speed Phenom found out when he did a John Force burnout and he tried to launch the car and it gave him a clutch over temp code. Why is that? Because the car, I'm sure, infers clutch slip based on, I don't know if it has an actual sensor in there. I'm sure it does, because it's an over temp code. But you can't do second gear burnouts, long ones, in the burnout box and expect the clutch to be okay, ready to fly at the line. You're going to get it hot. It might launch, but it's not going to go in a gear. And that's what happened to Mr. Speed Phenom. He went in there and did a dumb thing, which you don't do in a stick car, a long burnout. This is how the GT500 is going to have to get treated going forward, the 2020 GT500. You're going to have to put a slick. Yep. Once you get access to that TCM, kiddos, you're going to have to put a slick, and that will be the fuse along with the clutch. because you have to apply the clutches harder to get the car to get out of the hole, just like a stick car. So you ever see GTRs launch? You ever see any drag radial on any GTR ever? You're going to have to use a slick, maybe a big slick, to cushion the blow and get the car out of the hole. Forget the whole drag radial bullshit if you think you're going to start applying more pressure to that clutch set, because what's going to happen is this. The drag radial is going to hook. The drag radial is going to hook, and then what's going to happen? The clutch is going to get fucking smoked because you purposely have to slip the clutch in order for that car to launch properly. Good example. Go on YouTube right now and look up the Minion. The Minion. Well, Alex, he has a drag radial. How does he do it? Listen with your fucking ears how that thing launches. He's on the chip and then it goes, boom. So it has some kind of fuse. I don't know if it's a slipper clutch. I do not know. I do not care. But he is able to launch that thing on drag radials with a stick car, which was unheard of up until about 3 or 4 years ago. Unheard of that you can launch a stick car that runs 7s on drag radials. And it goes boom, and it cuts a badass 60 foot, and it gets it, and he fucking gets it in gear. Why? Because he has the launch figured out. If you want to get the GT500 out of the hole, guess what? You got to freaking have access to the TCM, launch it at 4,000 RPMs, and it has to be an immediate release. Boom, instant release. Well, what's going to happen? Driveline shock, tire shake, transmission brake. Guaranteed. So what's going to happen? A slick 17-inch, if you can fit it, or an 18-inch if they make it. I don't think they make it. I think the only slick they make is in a 17. Blake Bailey says Minion has a Black Magic slipper clutch. If that's the case, that makes sense because it slips out of the hole. So the GT500 needs to be that fine balance of slip, but not slip so much so that it still has forward propulsion and bites the tire and gets going, or treat it like a stick car. Apply the clutches quickly, let the tire be the fuse. What's going to happen is guys that were used to tuning 10R80s and 6R80s that thought they knew shit are going to have to learn all over again. Treat it like a stick car. When I look at any car on the market right now that can closely mimic the GT500, it's the GTR. And what's in the GTR? A slick. I've never seen a GTR, as far as I know, at a track. I got to do a lot of caveats. Launch with a drag radial and have success because they have to apply the clutch quick. Boom! They almost bounce and get out of the hole and do their thing. If you want to drag race a GT500, which was built as a road race car, don't believe me? Look at how the heat exchanger is mounted in the front. The heat exchanger is flat. Oh, that's so stupid, YOLO. Why is the way they mounted the heat exchanger flat? Right, because when you're going 100 miles an hour down the front stretch, it comes up and out the hood. It comes through the front grille, down from the bottom, and out the hood, and it extracts all the heat out of it. If you're sitting it, Ford did not anticipate, even though they did do a drag mode in the car, that this would be a heavy, heavy, heavy drag raced vehicle. But it's going to be. Plain and simple. The GT500 is going to be a heavy, heavy drag raced vehicle because we're in America. But Ford is not stupid. Ford's like, well, we're not going to build this car for Oklahoma, Florida, North Carolina, and Texas. We're going to build it for the world. The rest of the world is going to take it to the Nürburgring. They're going to take it to somewhere in Germany where a Nazi built a badass road. So you got to understand, Ford built this for the world, not for you 5 guys that are trying to drag race it. So yeah, heat exchanger upgrades are going to happen. I don't think the car needs to have a ported blower. This is, I think, what the GT500 needs to run 9's. Get ready. A 2.7 pulley or a 2.6 pulley, cat deletes or free-flowing exhaust or headers, and a tire. Obviously injectors because you got to run E85. So E85 pulley, a tire, which you'd have to make that happen in the back. I don't know how you're going to make it happen, but you cannot rely on a Mickey Thompson ET Street SS to be the savior. And TCM access. You need access to the TCM so that you can apply the clutches quicker and make the tire the fuse and not the clutch, because you'll see exactly what happened to Speed Phenom is going to happen to a lot of people. I'm getting clutch over temp protection, car shuts down, cuts power until the temperature comes back down because you're doing big, long, stupid burnouts in a 4,000-pound car that makes 700 foot-pounds of torque. Plain and simple. Okay, I'm going to go through some of the questions real quick because I can get off on a tangent and talk like this nonstop. But the TCM has not been accessed yet. Once that guy gets in there, that's where the rubber hits the road, and that's where guys that have experience stick shift racing will have a leg up, because the shifts don't need to be quicker, right? Just let them, just like they're in sport mode. Let the shifts happen. Keep all the torque reduction on. The launch. If you get that 60 foot in the 1.4s, that car with about $3,000 worth in mods can be 9's easy. If you want to drag race the car, if you actually want to use it to its full potential, look at what Speed Phenom is doing. He's out there road racing the shit out of this car and keeping up with Porsche GT3s and shit. It's pretty badass shit. Alrighty, so what else happened this week? Real quick, David Van Norris ended up making having the quickest sealed, I am saying, intake to oil pan, front cover to rear stock motor, obviously with boost. Run, I think, an 830 or an 820, becoming the quickest and fastest stock motor coyote. Period. Quickest and fastest stock motor coyote. Period. Very badass. It's been a very, very good week. I also saw an equally impressive car, the Aldo Welds GT350. I don't know who owns it. It looks great. They put a turbo 400 behind it, and it went like 860. Super, super badass week for Lund Racing. People like Evolution Performance, people like David Van Norris, and the guys at Mexico Racing League, and Aldo Welds. And, last but not least, congratulations to the guys down at Midnight Performance, Jesus Fajardo, Manuel Gomez, and Boyd Bombera for driving that car and getting that car to go 790s, super badass in a 10R80 car, making it the quickest and fastest 10R80 car, period. No micro record. It's got a 10R80, quickest and fastest. That's it. Done, plain and simple. Just like Lund Racing has a 6R80, quickest and fastest. Period. There is no debate. Plain and simple. All right, let's get to the questions real quick. I saw a $4 question pop up, and then I'm gonna get back on the regular questions and comments. Sorry about the long monologue. It was about 50 minutes, so not like that guy Gervais in the Golden Globes yesterday, fucking roasting the shit out of the Hollywood people. That was super badass. Steven Gardner says, 32 valve 7-liter Coyote EcoBoost from 70s Mach 1 video. Next Ford motor. Sick. So that's what he said. Who is beeping me? What the hell's going on? Okay, so the next comment was Peyton Pruitt. Going to be running an AEM water meth injection kit because of bad 91 octane. I'm seeing a small amount of knock on my packs and setup at high RPM. What RPM would you recommend starting spraying during wide open throttle? Knock activity doesn't come in on centrifugal setups until well after 5,000 RPM. So anything in that realm, you should be good to go. Obviously, you're going to have to log it. Now, ideally, Peyton, if you can somehow, and I'm not telling you to do this, that you have to do it, but this would be ideal for tuners. If you can somehow make it so that the IAT reads off of the manifold, that will tell us how much of a difference in temperature the meth is actually providing at the manifold. Because right now IAT is at the MAF, but you're spraying after the MAF, so we have no way of measuring temperature drop or anything like that. So the IAT retard is going to be basically based off of the MAF. So I wish there was a way of getting it from the manifold, like a piggyback harness, and make the IAT tap into the manifold. That would be ideal, Peyton. But to answer your question, anything above 5,000 RPMs, you're pretty good, in my opinion. Ever see anyone blow a stick on a trans? Heyo. I was talking to Ben Calamer. Ben Calamer literally said 4,000 pounds, 700 foot-pounds of torque. That thing is going to start shearing teeth once you start applying the clutches properly. And I agree with him. Why? Because he rebuilds Hellcat transmissions, T50s, TR6060s, because some of them do come with TR6060s. He goes, Alex, I go through those shits like butter. They break all the time because they make torque and the car's really heavy. And the teeth go, see you later. Not because of chattering, just sheer torque and just shearing the physical application of the actual gears are stressing and breaking gears in TR6060s. So GT500, 4,000 pounds, 700 foot-pounds of torque, and proper clutch application, broken transmission. Plain and simple. That's how I'm going to see it. Jeremiah Kemp says front to back. Front to back is right. Front to back. If you wipe back to front, you got a shitty dick. Or shitty balls. Shitty balls. 03 Stang GT says, Alex, did Christian like Ford versus Ferrari movie? I don't know. Ask Christian. I don't think he's seen it. I don't think that's one of those movies that we give two shits about because it's more of a Ford GT, Ken Miles, Le Mans movie. We're drag race people. So that's why this GT500 is kind of like a Pandora's box, right? The 2020 GT500 was designed legitimately as a road race car. Because it's made for the world. It's going to be sold in Australia, Great Britain, Germany, Sweden. It is designed for the world, but Americans are going to drag race it only. Who the fuck do you know? Oh, I know someone's going to take it to an autocross. I don't give two fucking shits because at the end of the day, one of my sayings, it's a drag race country. So if it doesn't, some guy says, 9's out of a GT500, I thought it should have gone faster. Motherfucker. Just wait. The car hasn't even been out 2 months and it went 9's. Meanwhile, you guys were sucking that Supra dick. Quack, quack 9,000. And you were like, that thing's the baddest shit ever. And I don't even think it's gone 9's yet. I think it just got in the 10s. And if it went 9's, my mistake because I don't live in that world, aka a BMW. But the GT500 less than a month after being out runs 9's? Come on, guy, come on. Your local gato says, ported 1314 GT500 blower for $1,400. Worth it? Any beware of used blowers supporting mods to place 11 to 12 GT500 or just plug and play? So when you put a 1314 GT500 in a previous generation GT500, I at least like to upgrade the injectors to minimum MU52s, put a BAP on it just because, and a bigger cold air intake at least 120 millimeter. As long as the port job was done by reputable people, you should not have any issue. Bitch up. Okay, good. That's the paid questions. They're all up. Awesome. Thoughts on the Gen 5 3.0 Whipple Cobras making 1,000 on stock bottom ends? Show me one. Show me one, please. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Bring it to the Power by the Hour dyno, a verifiable dyno. Ain't no fucking way a stock Cobra is making that power with stock cams. Oh, wait. Stock bottom ends. I'm sorry. Stock bottom ends. So you guys mean like short block. Exactly. Worked heads, big stupid dumb cams. Yeah. Senior's Cobra made 1,000 like super easy on like 20 PSI twin turbo, but that was built. Now that was like a built 5.0. So I know how much work it takes to get one of those motors to make decent power. I'm not saying they can't. But in stock short block form with those cams, no fucking way. Sorry. Serpent Stang says, road racing is getting a lot bigger here than you think, Alex. No, it's not. It's really not. Because I live in a state that all they do is race. And it is roll racing is getting huge. Drifting is getting huge. Drag racing is stronger than ever, especially the no prep stuff. And road racing is going away. Like, no one cares. No one cares. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I would love to road race my 2019 Mustang. After seeing how much wear and tear one event gives that car, how expensive it is to run it, no, it becomes unattainable, and I'm like, I don't really think it's worth it. The autocross stuff, I think, is, I don't want to say cool, because most of them happen in Walmart parking lots, and, you know, I don't want to work an event. I don't want to watch the cones. I just want to pay money and run. I don't want to, like, watch shit and, like, participate and be like, oh, you know, I'm going to what? No, fuck that. I'm going to give you money, and I'm going to run and I'm going to get the fuck out of Dodge. But it's not like that. You got to be like part of it. And I'm like, I don't want to be part of it. I just don't want to be part of it. I just want to pay you money. I want to pay you money, good money. Run a long course, like a big long course that a Mustang would be good in. Not something a Miata would thrive in. Something long where you can at least get to the top of second gear. No, most of them are first gear, short second gear courses. And I said, you know what? That's not fun to me. That's not fun to me. Vig says 18 manifold on an 11 GT. Does pretty well. Frank Perdomo has one on his Coyote swapped notchback. Pretty badass shit. Alejandro Flores, does your 19 manual shutter and semi-shake when you are... Fuck. Does your 19 manual shutter and semi-shake when releasing the clutch to leave out of first gear or reverse? Thanks, man. No, not at all. Alejandro Flores, any input on some... Able S550 GT says, any input on some orange 2020 GT500 claiming to be the fastest in the world? Not going to mention who's tuned by. I don't care. I mean, it probably is. It probably is the quickest. It's probably the fastest, but not the quickest because I don't think it's gone 9's yet. The only GT500 that has gone 9's is Evo's. If that one went faster, cool. I mean, cool story. I don't care. I literally don't care. Because this is the way I look at GT500s. A $70,000 or $80,000 car that you put $3,000 into traps 140. Okay. So then I go, well, how much was the Fairmont to build? If we're just talking speed, I get it. You want to be the fastest of the GT500s. What do they call it? Lord of the Flies. Not Lord of the Flies. You're like, it's like your niche group, the fastest GT500. So if it's just about being fast, well, I'm poor. So I'm like, it's a money thing. So the Fairmont cost me about, to build it, like out of pocket, $15,000 to $20,000. And it goes, 8.7, but it's not a GT500 DCT. You're right. It's a lot quicker and faster than one. So, I mean, let them claim all they want. That's awesome. Eventually someone else is going to beat it. Lund Racing is going to take their white car and run it. And it's just going to be a never ending bullshit regurgitation of garbage, quickest, fastest niche, quickest, fastest, current quickest world record, like Guinness is showing up to the track going, oh, this was a certifiable world record. Shut the fuck up. I hate that world record shit because who the fuck knows? Do you know how many grudge cars out there don't tell you what the hell they run and you know that they're faster? I'm going to put out a video tomorrow or the day after of probably the quickest and fastest stock computer, sure, micro record, GT500 that you've never thought could run that number. Why? Because he was a grudge racer. So the last thing he's going to do is pop off and say how fast his car is because he wants to make that money when he reels you in from being a sucker asshole thinking that shit's slow. So when I hear world record, I chuckle because I know there are guys out there that are like super low key, quiet. There are more guys in the Lake Charles to Houston area that work on offshore rigs that have insanely fucking fast cars that you've never heard of. Why? Because they don't pop off on some dumb shit. They want to make that money. And they're not going to tell you what they're running. It's good shit. YouTube, corrupt, anti, free speech, liberal company, whatever the fuck says. Alex, what do you think about the practicality of a twin turbo GT? I want to go blower since it's simple and I feel it will last longer, but twins will butt fuck anyone on the street. You will have more maintenance with a twin turbo car. Period. You're going to be under the hood more. I'm not saying it's bad. You're just going to be under the hood more. Ask anyone that owns turbo cars. They're under the hood more than blower cars. But Whipple Gen 5s are pretty badass. Edo Brocks are pretty badass. And there comes a power level that becomes semi-unusable unless you're doing 70 and 80 rolls. And that's about 900 to 1,000 on the street. Semi becomes unusable unless you're doing 60, 70, 80 rolls. That motherfucker at 930 real horsepower, unusable. It would only hook after like 80, and then it would roll motherfuckers. We got to get you into the movies. You're good. Maurice Marshall says, we got to get you in movies. You're funny. I'm not that funny. I'm not that funny. I'm really not. New Supers have been in the 9's. Cabrero's tuning. Sick. So how long did it take them? Right? How long did it take the new Super to go 9's? Did it take a month or did it take 6 months? Michael N says, I was waiting for that DCT overheating during launch control. As soon as people put power, I see you're going to need clutches for sure. Not just clutches. You're going to need to apply the clutches quicker because there is like a slip. I'm sure there's like a ramp, like a, and we need to go instant so that the drive line takes the shock and the tire takes the shock. And if you're running a drag radial on that bitch, get ready to buy axles, get ready to buy a drive shaft, get ready to buy everything. Time to put a slick on the car and a skinny in the front, because you know what happens when you put a slick in the back and a wide radial in the front? Bunch of sway. Follow my channel this season. You'll see lots of them. No, get out of here, Serpent Stangs. Follow my channel to see what cars go on. You know how boring it is to see in-car video of a road race car? You know how boring it is? No offense. I love you. I love road racing. Do you know how boring it is? It's fucking boring. It's almost as bad as drifting. Almost. Ian Good. Good question, brother. Alex, what do you think about the original Bullitt from the movie? That'll go for more than $3.5 million at the Mecum auction this Friday in Kissimmee. If you think that car is worth more than $10,000, you're on fucking crack. You were buying a car based on a movie that I guess spawned a cult following for that vehicle. The Bullitt Mustang, to me, is nothing special but a green Mustang and badging. That's really what it is, right? Oh, but Alex, in 2004, they made a... 2004, they made a black and green one, and they got big brake. I don't care. It is a GT. God damn it. It's a GT. It's a fucking GT. So for anyone to say it is worth that, look, a vehicle is worth whatever someone willing to pay for it, right? That is a $10,000 car. The fact that someone, you know what's a $3.5 million car? The Shelby, I forget what exactly was called. It was like the Daytona version of the Shelby car, because it won races and it raced and it has a pedigree behind it. What pedigree? Meaning background, meaning what did it do to earn such money? What did the Bullitt Mustang do to earn that much money? You know, to make it worth that much. Sentimental value? That means if I sell the Fairmont by sentimental value, it'd be $1 million. I love that car. It has a great story behind it, but it is not worth that. And I know that someone comes to me and says, maybe I'll give you 25. I go, you're right. That fucking car is a $10,000 car. And I cannot believe Mecum is going to have to spike the drinks with crack during the bidding, because they know someone's going to realize, what the fuck am I buying? There's nothing behind that car except the movie that has like a cult following. The vehicle itself is shit. Love you, but I'm not a Mustang nut rider like that. That $3.5 million can go to anything else than a fucking Bullitt Mustang. Unless some business owner needs to spend $3.5 million and then give that to charity to have the tax offset. That's the only way you're going to get that kind of money. If some guy goes, it is worth that, you're smoking that crack. Would you take the GT500 or the GT350? The drizzle. Both serve their own purposes. The GT500 is spectacular. They did a really good job. I think the GT500, the 2020 GT500 at 800 wheel is just right. It's just right. Anything above that, then you're going to start really running into problems. But at 800 wheel, the GT500 is pretty damn legit. Leave the shifting as it is. It's going to be a low 10-second, high 9-second car. You can drive it every fucking day. Gap many fools. Maybe not gap all the guys, but you're going to be damn good. The GT350 with a T56 and a set of twin turbos is a bad motherfucker, because everyone roll races that car, right? The GT500 is going to become a roll race car. The GT350 with some twin turbos is a killer on the fucking street. So I don't know if the money makes sense. I'd rather twin turbo a GT350 with a T56 and send it. Call up Aldo, be like, "Órale, way, I need one of them turbo kids, man. And he's like, oh, yeah? And I'm like, yeah, man. I need one of them turbo kids. That GT350 turbo kid, man, because the way the pinche que me la pela, he needs to get gap, fool. He's like, yeah, I got you, bro. Boom, done. Ale By says, hey, Alex with a K. Fuck you. Hey, bud, is 103 millimeter throttle body good for over 1,000 wheel horsepower, or does it need to be ported? Does what need to be ported? The throttle body? Also, would you upgrade an 1819 GT fuel wheels for 900 plus rear wheel horsepower? I would get a built motor for 900 plus rear wheel horsepower, brother. So if you're building a 19 GT or an 18 GT to live at 900 wheel, build that motor. The Edelbrock ported with a 103 millimeter throttle body and a set of cams can live at 1,000. I just don't know that it'll be like an 1,100 rear wheel horsepower car, but it can be high 900s, low 1,000s with a set of cams, built motor, E85, and like, I don't know, 50 degrees of timing. Be pretty sick. Jonathan Talley says, too many road racing tracks getting shut down around the country. Exactly. I do not see this resurgence of road racing happening unless you're in it and you hope it happens. I just don't see it happening. And I'm in Florida. They're racing all year round here. Road racing is not that popular down here at all. My Back Hurts one says, clutch pulley on a GT500 blower makes a lot of sense. Exactly. Clutch, pulley, and a little free-flowing exhaust, chilling. There was a Cobra for sale that had stock cams in a May 1040. Probably once. MCJO13 says, Aldo, don't talk like that. I know. I've met him. He's a good guy. He actually is very well spoken. Not that I'm surprised by that, but I kind of was. So was Brian Luna. Brian Luna was like a banker. He's like, hey, Alex, how you doing? And I'm like, hello. I was expecting him to go, órale, wey. La goma quema, cuz. Oh, shit. The chase scene is the only good part of the movie. Exactly. Bullitt, the movie itself, sucked. So for whatever reason, that scene got in some 70-year-old head, and he thinks that car's worth $3.5 million. Psycho. YouTube Corrupt Anti-Free Speech says, Alex, on a 19 GT, what front wheel and tire do you recommend to go with an ET Street R305 1710 in the back? Is the front skinny safe on the street? Yes. See that car? Had a front skinny its whole life. Fairmont has a front skinny. As long as you're not turning it really fast and thinking you're going to be a road racer, you're fine, brother. At what level do you have to change a standalone ECU? Well, Lund Racing has a 1700 horsepower stock ECU car. I think it's when you want ultimate control, right? When you want ultimate control, I think it's time to go to a aftermarket ECU like an AEM, a Holly, or a Megasquirt if it's a Fox, or what's the badass one? I'm forgetting it. It's like the badass motherfucker. But meaning traction control, boost control, cable throttle, all the shit. I mean, everything super adjustable by you. I think that's the time. I don't think it's a power number. I think it's more of a time. It's more of a control thing. Why does no one use a 6.2 from the F250s? Cause it sucks. That's why it got replaced by the 7.3, and that's gonna suck. Oh, cam and block. Oh, my dick. Because fuck push rods. Aldo, don't talk like that. I already got that. Oh God. Mike Mercy says, what would you suggest for a daily street car for the 2018-19 Coyote? Supercharger or turbo? Supercharger. Because it's going to be easy. Every single guy I tuned through Lund Racing that has a Whipple, Edelbrock, Vortec, or Paxton at about 10 to 11 PSI goes to the track and runs 1060s. Boop. 1060 on pump gas, 1060. And then they're like, let me put some Torco in this bitch. Alex, give me a Torco tune. Boom, 1030. Then they go, fuck it, let me go E85 and go a couple more pounds of boost. Boom, 990. That's it. Turbo guys are like, oh, I'm going to put the wastegates plumbed in backwards. Oh, blew up. Hey, I need a fucking GoFundMe account. Speaking of that, the YouTubers blowing their engines up. I am telling you, call me Nostradamus. I know the future. I told you that Ford needed to come out with a 600, 700 rear-wheel horsepower GT350, and they did it basically in the GT500. I told you YouTubers are blowing their engines up to get noticed, and sure enough, it happened again. Someone popped their GT500 engine, 2013, 2014 GT500 engine, because they like to live that Torco life. And they were at like 1,000 rear wheel horsepower. And I'm like, you're going to blow it up. You're going to blow it up. But if you're following the playbook, that's the thing to do as a YouTuber. Blow your shit up. F-150 S550 says, Aldo weld kits are $18K. I don't think they're $18K, dude. $18K for a turbo kit? Aldo, hit me up. If you're here or anyone from Mexico Racing League that knows the price, give me the price of an S550 bottom mount if you have a mid mount and if you have a top mount. Also get me the price of a GT350. Tell me what the prices are on Aldo weld kits on like official, not some guy that knows that know. I need someone from the company to tell me what the prices are so that we can end any speculations here. Grabber Coyote says, I love the fact that the GT500 is Coyote based. Look, GT500 guys are going to have to realize there's a Coyote under there. Oh, it's a Predator. It's a Predator. It's not a Coyote. It's a Predator. It's a Coyote. I could put a Whipple on that thing from a Coyote and it fits. It bolts right down. See ya. It is not a 5.4, a 5.8. It is a Coyote-based 5.2. Now, let's start talking about Shelby a little bit here. I'm starting to agree with Christian a lot, especially after seeing that Shelby America is pushing the Super Snake having more horsepower than the GT500. This one I have a problem with because there is currently, right now, a GT500 on the market. So how can it be a Super Snake if it did not start its life as a snake? Isn't it a Super GT? So if you buy a Shelby Mustang and it's a 5-liter and it has a Super Snake badge on it, you probably overpaid to the tune of $20,000 to $30,000 for a badged up suspension, some interior, and some wheels GT. Now, if Shelby America took in a GT500, gave it the same treatment, and sold it for $113,000, $120,000, that's a Super Snake. That's a Super Snake. What they're selling right now is a Super GT, not a Super Snake. So sorry. Tony Miller says, I have a 2015 GT. Holy shit, 15 comments just flew by. I'm sorry, Tony. I might have just missed you, bro. Sorry. Sorry, man. Just I started reading your question and 15 to 20 questions just flew by. I apologize. Brandon Watson is smoking that crack. F-150 S550 says, Alejandro, that was install included. My bad. Okay, good. I was going to say, no way an Aldo kit is $18,000. Ricky says, Alejandro, did you get any weird noises after lowering your 19 GT? Zero. This is what I did with my 19 GT. UPR end links on the back and an Ibach Pro kit. Done. And a good alignment. Done. I didn't get this and that. I doesn't need it. It doesn't need it for a daily driver. It just doesn't need all the catalog parts. It just needs some end links. If you want to upgrade the sway bar stuff, but I really don't. I wanted to keep it as stock as possible, just a little lower, and I'm very happy. Alejandro says, Alejandro Flores, Aldo weld kits are $8,000 to $12,000 depending on type. It was between that and a Whipple for me. Ended up getting Whipple. Yeah, I understand that. Someone watches my videos. The new one will be a felon. So we were talking about engine names. So the Terminator was the Terminator, the Coyote. Then you had the 5.4 though. The 5.4 GT500 motor. Did that have a code name? You know, the iron one, then the aluminum one, and then I know the 5.8 was the Trinity. Then Coyote was Gen 3, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. Coyote, and then the Predator. So when it comes to lineage, what comes after the Predator? Someone said the Felon. Christian, yesterday we made a video on the PBH dyno. He's like, the Felon, because Predators get caught and they become felons. I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right. Someone says Predator is a Harbor Freight engine. That is true. I was at Harbor Freight and I saw a Predator, what do you call it? A generator. There was a generator and it was called the Predator. Hussein Hejazi, which is better, a higher or lower gear ratio to be used for ProCharger or Vortec manual? Manual 331, anything boosted. Now, if you're drag racing it, again, because look, Hussein, where are you from, by the way? So could you imagine? I'm sorry. Oh shit. So could you imagine after World War II, if you named your kid Adolf and you're like, yeah, I might have to change your name, bro. Oh shit. Sorry. Oh shit. So I think numerically, it all depends on what you're doing. A lot of people in the Middle East do a lot of highway runs. Like they go, this is exactly how I get an email from anybody in the Middle East. Bro, 4.5, no good. Fix, bro. And I go, bro, what's problem? He goes, bro, 4.5 shift, no good. I go, wait a minute. The top of fourth is 160 mile an hour. So that means over there, they're doing top end runs. So it all depends on what you need, Hussein. Do you need a top end car or do you need a quarter mile car? In my opinion, a 331 is going to be perfect for quarter mile stuff with anything about 10 PSI. 373, you might have to go into fifth gear. So you have to take that into account. Alex would do a great Trump impression. I don't think I could do a Trump impression because my voice is a little higher pitched than most. Thank you, Motec. Thank you. Motec is the one I was thinking about. Motec is, Quick Stanger says, Alex, Motec ECU is one of the top aftermarket ones. Haltech is also up there. Exactly. Craven Moorhead says, Craven Moorhead. What a great name. Craven Moorhead. I am Craven Moorhead. My bro has been waiting for over 9 months for the Aldo kit. Well, call up Aldo. You know, I think when something is in high demand, things like that can happen. And that's not a bad thing. I think once everything gets streamlined and quality does not suffer, it'll take a little bit, brother. Thank you, Timmy Anders, for saying Motec. Bondo Bird says, big booty, listening while I have the machine proto parts at Whipple. We got to upgrade that Edelbrock. Bondo Bird, I can say this very confidently, and this is no dig on Whipple. I love the TVS. I love the power delivery. I love the design. I love everything about it. I do not dislike a Whipple. I will never have a Whipple in any of my vehicles. Not because I dislike the product. I think the product speaks for itself. I just have a preference. Some people have a preference in turbo. Some people have a preference in centrifugal superchargers. I have a preference with the TVS rotor pack. Now, if someone makes a case about the supposed up-and-coming 3-point-something rotor pack, I would love to be in on that. But honestly, I don't see anyone making a case around the Eaton up-and-coming 3-liter plus rotor pack. So we'll see. But thank you, Bondo Bird, and keep on doing that thing. I think one of the Lund cars is going to need some Gen 5 action, something like that. We'll see. Daily Druid Mustang 863 says, hey, Alex, I have a 16 Mustang GT all but on. All but on, and Lund will tune LU47 help at all, thanks. Okay, guys, if your car does not require more injector based on the air it's getting, it's not going to make more power just on an injector alone. A lot of people think, well, I'm going to buy LU47 injector. More fuel means more power, right? No, because the injector is only going to grab what it needs. We're not going to flood the engine with fuel and it's just going to automatically make more power. If you do not need a big injector, it's not going to make one more horsepower with a bigger injector per se. Bondo Bird knows how to get my attention. He said, big booty. And I was like, whoa. Speaking of big booty, I saw a very nice one today. Actually, that's why I'm a little spiffied up. Very, very, very attractive young lady. Speaking of which, let me get in here. Okay. So, hey, Alex, I have a 16... Okay, I already got that. I joined at the right time. Nice. Someone just put in a eggplant. Sick. Tip. Can you believe the world we live in? 800 horsepower car. I remember when 300 horsepower was badass. What was your first actual fast car? So in 1990, wow, I'm dating myself because a lot of you guys might have been like fucking 5 years old. So in 1999 or 1998, I had a 87 GT, had a set of trick flow heads, B cam, Cobra intake. I'm sounding like an old guy right now. And I thought that car was fast till I met a buddy of mine who had a notch with E7 heads, Edelbrock RPM, and gapped the shit out of me. I sold my red GT 2 days later and bought that notch. That was my first quick car. That car maybe made 280 wheel, but it was an 1170, 1160 car all day, every day. It was so much fun. Tremec 3550, Edelbrock RPM. If I had a little 100 shot, it'd be like a 1090 car. It was to me fast. Now, cars are coming out of the factory running 11.8 GTs with E85 weight reduction and headers. It's going 11.0, 1090s, and GT500s with about 4,000 in mods, realistically, can go low 10, 10 stock, low 10, high 9s with E85. Unbelievable. Crazy time. Robert Plasek says, Cox and Dicks. Now, Cox and Dicks comes from Hot Tub Time Machine. If you guys hear me say Cox and Dicks, like, oh my God, that car sucks. Cox and Dicks comes from the movie Hot Tub Time Machine. Ryan Jones says, her name Tiffany? No, her name was not Tiffany. So that's a good thing. Tiffany's are bad for me, really bad for me. Daily Driven Mustang says, just wanted to know if they're good for E85. Yeah, if you have a Gen 2 Mustang, 15 to 17, you don't need injectors as long as you have the stock manifold, but it's always nice to have a little headroom. So LU47s on that will work very well for E85. On a Gen 1, you must use LU47 injectors to run E85. Matt A says, MGK or Eminem's diss song, who's better? Okay, so check it out. When Eminem's diss song, I think it's called Kill Shot, comes on the radio, I don't bop my head. But when you listen to the lyrics, you're like, holy shit, he's going deep layers. He's talking about Puff Diddy doing a hit potentially on Biggie. It just really in deep crazy layers. But the beat sucks. But the flow is the flow. MGK's, that's a song that can get played at a club because it has a hook, it has a chorus, and it has really good flow. The words aren't that good, but the flow as a song is better than Eminem's Kill Shot. Kill Shot has way better lyrics and layers. MGK has a better flow, and I would actually raise the volume on an MGK song than on Eminem's song. There you go. Hopefully that answers that. Very political answer. Eric Vega says, then would in theory, do I need LU47s if I go PMAS 120 with an 18 manifold swap on my 15 GT? Yes, 18 manifold, you need LU47s if you're going to run E85. Who's your favorite wrestler in history? Superfly Jimmy Snuka. What? Yeah, this was when like way before HD. Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Look him up. Superfly Jimmy Snuka. He would come off way off the top rope like crazy shit. 7, get it right. Someone said 7, get it right. Alex is 41. Actually, I'm 42. My birthday was Saturday. MGK was better. Curry Brown. I kind of agree with the song. I was 6 in 1998. Bro, 4 5 shift, no good. Bro, 4-5 shift, no good, bro. Bro, fix, bro. Bro, engine no good, bro. Fix, please. Please, engine, fix, please. Por favor, engine. Fix, light, fix. They speak, I think, in hieroglyphics. So if you look at hieroglyphics, it's like bull, grass, poop, plants, fertilizer. You know, I think that's how they talk. They. Alex is racist. Some guy just gave me $20. I'm going to go right to him. David Marth. Alex, I'm thinking about lowering the car about 1.5 inches. If I drop the engine 3/4 of an inch with drop mounts, will I have to worry about the long tube header clearance? Also, any possible future issues with O2 sensors? What year car do you have, David? Devin? Alex, thinking about lowering the car about 1.5 inches. If I drop the engine, why would you want to drop the engine 3/4 of an inch with drop mount? Maybe because of a CJ? Well, I have to worry about the long tube header. Yeah. If you drop the car a little bit and you drop the engine a little bit, the headers are going to be closer to the ground. So ground clearance will be an issue depending on the size tire you're using. If you have like a 20-inch 35 series or 40 series or whatever the fuck, I don't think there's 40s on 20s would be stupid. I think 35 is what's what. But you might have issues, yeah, man. I mean, it all depends on your overall ride height. I can't envision what you're doing and I can't see it. But yeah, obviously, if you lower the engine, lower the car, and long tube headers are going to be closer to the ground by that much. Someone said I was 17 in 1998. Yeah, I was 19. Yeah, 19. 11 years old. Phew. Mustang says he was 11. Wow, I got a lot of young motherfuckers on my shit. I don't consider myself old, but I'm old. I know that. But when I think of myself, I don't think I'm a 42-year-old guy. I'm just Alex. Alex, I know you're 6 years old, but are you ready to get drafted? Pretty funny stuff. So there's a lot of things. I have a lot of thoughts about the whole draft stuff. Look, no one's getting drafted. There is no draft. We have a professional military, meaning they get paid to fight, and it is voluntary, and we have more than enough. But the memes and things that I'm seeing out there about, oh, I can't wait to fight, they're kind of fucking stupid, right? Like, and a lot of guys, especially military, I love you guys, but you guys popping off like you want to fight until you have to fight. You know, that's kind of when the rubber meets the road. Look, Iran sucks. Iran has always sucked. Not the people. The people seem to be okay. The regime sucks. Ever since the 70s. Guys, look back at history. Fuck the 70s, the 60s. We did some dumb shit back then. They retaliated. Then we did some dumb shit back. Then they retaliated. And it's been boom, 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 boom forever. But for the millennials, they're like, well, Iran was just doing nothing, hanging out, and we blowed up one of their guys. Nah, dude. They hold on to shit from thousands of years ago. They don't want Jews anywhere near them. If you're religious, if you're not into their religion, especially because it's a theocracy, meaning it is run by religion. I hate talking religion because it's the most divisive subject, but this has been going on for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. And in the most recent 70s, 80s, and 90s, there's been shit going on all along. And this is all connected. It's all the same shit. It's just stems from the same fucking shit. And it's funny when people actually do their research and look back at history, they go, oh, damn, this has been happening for 50 years. Yep. So, I'm not surprised. But I am surprised that people are out there advocating going to war when if the moment they go, here's a gun, go ahead, fucking drop in. They're like, nah, fuck all that. Oh, okay, I'm trying to get caught up on this stuff. People are so stupid. A draft requires an insane amount of legislation to happen. No draft is happening. Guys, there's a professional military. No draft is happening. Stop it. Which size wheel front tire do you recommend to go with a 305 ET Street R? Which size front skinny? Like a 26 or 27. I'd do a 27 or 28 inch skinny, like a Mickey Thompson skinny, with a 17-inch wheel. It'll fill the gap real nicely in the fender. It'll be good. Cuban Coyote, haven't heard from him in a while. Hey, Alex, when I put the new engine in, I'll need to return the whole car. Still same ECU. Return the whole car. Look, Cuban, let's log it. And don't go watt. Don't do anything stupid. Don't go watt. And I missed your last paid question. Where are you, Cuban? Where you at? Cuban Coyote. New engine almost going in. Can't wait to make 850 horsepower. So that's not a question. That's a comment. So Cuban, you better make it with boost. Don't be doing this fucking nitrous shit. Fuck nitrous and anything over a 150 shot. Let's get boost like a Whipple or Paxton or something in there, and you'll be a lot happier, and I'll be a lot happier and more comfortable. So we'll tune it once you get it in. Get us the combination. Reply to the ticket. Make sure we stay in touch so that I'm not lost on it. So when you're like, bro, I need tune, bro. I'm like, what are you talking about? Kona Coyote says, hey, Alex, my 19 GT Auto Lunny 85 R-Tune versus my buddy's 12 Auto PBD 91 headers, light suspension. Which car will win from a dig or roll? He's lighter, but you make more power. In theory, you should beat him because a 19 GT is 12-to-1 compression. The 85 is King Daddy, and they're like 11.3, 11.4 cars as they sit. If he's on 91, come on. But if he's a light car and can hook and he has a 15-inch slick, he's probably going to get you because it's a lighter car, brother. Someone says, hey, Alex, you missed a bunch of questions. No, I didn't. Go fuck yourself. I got, here we go. Maurice, is it worth upgrading my Gen 2 to a Gen 4? Okay, god damn it. The problem is if I look on the right, which is, I think I showed you guys my screen before, but if you look on the right, I guess the questions fly up. So I'll go back and get some of these guys. Someone said, what do you think about the original Bullitt car? Got it. Blower, Christian. Okay, let's go here. Is it worth upgrading my Gen 2 2.9 liter to a Gen 4? I street only, 93 pump, don't care about drag or setting records. When do I change supercharger oil? Christian Moore. Yes, it's worth upgrading. I recently did a GT350 with a Gen 2. That thing struggled to make 1,000. And I think the Gen 4 will just make it that much easier. It just makes more power sooner, less effort, but that's for big boy horsepower. If the Gen 2 2.9 is making good power and you're happy and you're on pump gas, leave it alone, brother. So David Marth talked about lowering the springs, got him. Maurice Marshall gave me $5 for no reason. Ian Good says, I totally agree, but they're saying that this is talking about the Bullitt, the Bullitt car on Meekum. I totally agree, Alex, but they're saying that there'll be outside U.S. bidders and will want the Bullitt car, and that there'll be people in the U.S. to keep it in the U.S., hence the outrageous $3.5 million. Get it out of here. If some guy in Dubai wants it, get it out of here. Get that fucking thing out of here. Who gives a shit about that car? Seriously, grow up. Jonathan Williams gave me $5 and says, why is there a video of a Pulley 2020 GT Flop 100 getting its shit pushed in by a 13-year-old heads cam Z06 going around? Yikes. I mean, that's going to happen, right? I mean, that's going to happen. A Pulley 2020 GT500 on pump gas is probably going to get gapped by a 7-liter car that's lighter and probably has all the math and E85 on the planet. So you're going by age, right? Jonathan Williams. So why not get this Z06 and have it get its shit pushed in by a 40-year-old Fairmont? You see how stupid your argument sounds? New engine almost going in. Okay, Coyote, MGK, got that. Alex, you recommend upgrading? Fuck, these guys, you guys ask a lot of questions. Alex, do you recommend upgrading the 10R80 car from 355 to 315 after going supercharging? That's exactly how he wrote it. After going supercharging. Yes, Alex, buy. Go from a 355 to 315 supercharged, and the transmission will be a lot happier with that gear ratio, and so will the car. Nick Cannon's disc was Bama tuned. It was. David Marth, $20 to ask the questions about the drop. I already answered that. David Marth said it's a 17 GT. I think it's going to be close, man. It depends on your tire size, Devin, it's going to be really close as to what happens to your headers and if they do touch on the ground or not. George Campello gave me $2. Appreciate it, brother. Kona Coyote, I already got you because we talked about your E85 19 GT versus the 12 GT. If he's light and got a 15-inch and he can launch the car, he might get you because it's lighter. But I think it's one of those things where it's kind of like you can roll the dice on that one. There won't be a draft. 98% of the snowflake in the country can't even pass entry fitness or a drug test. Exactly. What brand of wheels do you recommend for a daily driver? Stock. It depends on the year of the car. You got to give me every detail. You can't be like, oh, what do you mean for daily driver? You mean like a stock Camry? A Camry? Huh? How about a Volkswagen CC? Huh? Stock. Kumi Coyote says, going Paxton and meant retune, LOL. All of my mods are carrying over to my new engine, especially my cams and OPG. You're going to need a new tune. So reply to the ticket. Let me know what's new on the car. All of it. And we'll get you a new tune. Sorry. I'm starting to get that throat nasty shit at about an hour in. It usually happens. I apologize. Curie Brown says that C6Z put in work. Yeah, it probably did. It was a max F for NA C6 fully built motor, one of the fastest in South Florida. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. It's one of the, that's why I don't street race, because you guys are such full of shit. Every single one of you guys are such full of shit. Oh, it's stuck, man. It's stuck. And it's got 13-to-1 compression, 7.5 liter, a stuck, man. And then they actually celebrate that it beat a GT500. I'm like, look, congratulations. It should beat it. That's why I don't fuck with anybody. Everybody down here is a fuck boy. Like, The only people I race down here are my friends because they're not fuckboys. Everyone else can go suck a fat dick for real. Alex, Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts? Okay, so Dunkin' Donuts for an everyday coffee. All good. But if you want a little bit of a stronger kick, I think Starbucks got a lick. The problem with Starbucks is the douchey feeling you get from ordering coffee. I'm never going to say venti. I'm never going to say to them venti, douchey, a cushy, a poochie. No, I'm going to be like, I want a medium coffee. And whatever the fuck they pour, and I'm good. Who did your intro video? There's a website full of Indians that like you pay them $5. Fiverr, FIVV, Victor, Frank, Ingrid, Victor, Edward, Rolando, Fiverr. M. Garland says, Alex, what are your thoughts on those stop the hop braces for 15 plus S550? Are they worth buying? Yes, they are. They actually lock the cradle in a nice area, and it keeps from any shuddering. Similar to the BMR lockouts, but I like the stop the hop kit better. Did you check out Running on Empty? I did not. That is a car movie, Chase Delia says. YouTube anti-free speech. Which crank sprocket do you like in a 19 GT? Sorry if you answered already. TSS. Okay, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Well, 1, 2. I don't mention anyone else. TSS, MMR. That's it. Don't ask anyone else. Don't ask about any other brand. TSS or MMR. $18 GT 10-speed. Does it need a converter like the 6R80? It helps. It definitely helps. Once a converter goes on a car, it helps it immensely. And if it's making big boy power, 800 and up, we can do a second gear leave, and that converter works flawlessly. It's wonderful. Any family in Puerto Rico, Bicho? I'm sure, but none I'm close with. I hope Rami's okay. I heard they had a real big earthquake down there, and I hope those guys are all okay. But I'm not close with anybody in Puerto Rico or here. I'm not close. I'm close with my friends. Like when my family and I are just from two different worlds. So I'm definitely not close. But I hope they're okay. I have like probably 10,000 people that are related to me down in Puerto Rico. So I hope they're okay. Someone said Starbucks is shit. It's shit, but it's muddy. But if you want something strong, that's King Daddy, because Dunkin' Donuts is like peas. Like they mash peas and mix it with coffee beans, and that's your coffee. Tyler Morgan says or asks, Alex, what is a safe horsepower number on a stock GT350 engine? 800 to 850, no higher. Now, some of them are living at 1,000 twin turbo ones. I just don't think they're going to be there long, but I think a turbo is better, believe it or not. Turbo setup is better for a GT350 due to the flat plane crank setup and not having the crank have to drive a supercharger. But if you can live in the 800 zone, a supercharger is fine. If you can swing turbos, apparently 900 and up is the norm. AK27051 says or asks, 27 GT Whipple Gen 5 Stage 2, 132mm throttle body, and Deechwork 72s on 93. Do I need to upgrade to FIC 1000s or ID 1050s or BAP to run properly or get a custom tune? I would at least get, if you're going to stay on pump gas, you can hang out with the Deechwork 72s. I would get a fuel pump voltage booster, a BAP. A BAP is a Kenny Bell term, okay? BAP is a Kenny Bell term. But a fuel pump voltage booster is highly recommended on any boosted vehicle that is relying on the stock little fuel pump to do the work. Orlando Chavez says, as a tuner, barely. As a tuner, what are some of the most satisfying tunes you've done, or what are some of the things you get excited about when you see them in the queue? My man, I love you. I love that question. So when I see a shop that has no ego, and says, guys, you're the best at this setup. You do it in volume. And another shop that tunes gives you the opportunity to tune a very well-built vehicle. That gets your heart pumping because they're going to be on E85 or some kind of C85. So that means the shop knows the prerequisites, meaning what needs to be in there, the things we need in there before, instead of having to do any bullshit. So when I see like a built motor, twin turbo, 1700s, built trans, built rear end, built. I go, nice. Let's party. Here's a base file. Here's a limited tune of 5,000 RPMs. Boom, boom. Get the data log back. Tweak the fueling. Okay, brother, I'm going to move the limiter up to 7,000. Do the same logs as before, but give me a wide open throttle from 3,000 to 6,000 in third gear. Boom, boom. They do it. It's perfect. Come back, raise the limiter to 7,000. Repeat the logs to 7,000. Boom, boom. Repeat the logs to 7,500. Boom. Then we start adding boost. I go, brother, start to add boost. 3 pounds, give me a hit. And we do that until we meet their power goals. Did that with Brent Speed recently on the GT350, a blue one. Just incrementally came up till we made 1,000 rear wheel, which was their goal, on an old Gen 2 head unit Whipple. And it's a built motor, fuel system, E85. I absolutely loved working with those guys. They did a great job. They made me look good, and they did the work. I just said here, 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 and he was very happy. Brandon McKay gave me Canada $5, which is like $3. Thank you. My friends are all cooks. I don't even like racing them. Look, racing in Florida, all it does is cause issues and get you broke. It causes issues and gets you broke. There's guys that have a lot of money in Florida. You'll never compete with them unless you have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. I have a lot of know-how and I have great connections, and my car is going to run at the track. You want to run me, bring your shit to a track where there's grip. There is no arguing. There's no arm drop. There's no 1, 2, 3. There's no GPS. There's a fucking light. And whoever wins, there's a win light. There's a reaction time. There's a red light if you fucking jump. Wonderful. Race me there. Oh, that's gay shit, man. I want to run the street. Great. Congratulations. If I was in any other part of the world, look, I'm sure it's shit everywhere you go. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Texas. It's all bullshit. But it all depends on the crew you're rolling with. If you're rolling with a good bunch of guys that just want to race and you have a tight-knit group and you race each other and you're just chilling, you're good. If you want to be king dingling and be on YouTube and have the fastest shit and beat the fastest shit, and you go to Texas 2K just to be on YouTube to race motherfuckers from Texas and you get your shit pushed in, well, guess what? That's what you deserve. I don't care about being popular. I do this to get information out to the people. It makes me a little money, of sure. Why not get paid for some of the knowledge and some of the information I'm giving out there? And if it allows me to make my car a little faster and I can race amongst my friends or have personal goals met, I'm good. Racing these motherfuckers down here is a waste of fucking time. Why? They got more money. They got more money. And as you know, it's a money game because you just get someone else to build it, someone else to tune it, you get in it, and you just smash the gas and the car does what it does. And then you can say you're king dingling. Then the next guy with more money shows up with a GTR at 2,000 horsepower, pushes your shit all the way out your mouth again. And then you're like, God damn it. And then it's a never ending. And you know what happens? Guys go broke. Guys go fucking broke. And then they stop racing. You ever see that? Guys just fall off the face of the earth because they got beat. It is very common in Florida. Listen to me. It is very common in Florida to sell your car after you get beat. There are guys here that have had some of the reigning champions for like 10 years or 5 years or 3 years. No one beats them. Then they get beat once, the car gets sold. Yes, I have personally seen it 3 or 4 times. One of my guys that I know here, he has a license plate and a Fox body that reads Ego Breaker. That's right. That thing, that Fox body has directly caused more sales of street race cars than I know, because people go, fuck, I got beat by a Fox body, a small block Ford turbo Fox body at that. Not even like a grudge car, just like a regular good looking car. It's pretty funny to see these people sell their car once they get beat. That's just how it is down here, man. Alex, best advice for taking a girl on the date, Riley Newfield. Look, if you want to be serious, don't go anywhere fancy. If you want to see what she's all about, or if you want to smash, there's two different ways of looking at it. If you want to smash, you take her out to a bar, try to get her drunk, do your thing. That's not what I do. If you want to be a good guy, first of all, talk to them a lot. And if you guys are on the same page with a lot of shit, then you should be okay. But if you're going out there to smash, just go to any club, put your arm out, whatever falls in there, that's what you're taking. But take them out, talk to them. Talk to them a lot on the phone, talk to them a lot in person, appetizers, drinks. See if you're into each other, right? Then you go on a date, like a date. You kind of got to poke a little bit and see what's going on. And then if you like them, you take them out on a date, somewhere nice, spend some money on the fucking dinner, dress up, make it nice, because she's got to see that you're putting in the effort. Don't bring her to some barbecue joint, Piggly Wiggly or some shit like that. Bring her to a nice place where you both dress up nice, because women like that shit. Women like being taken out somewhere fancy and nice they normally wouldn't go. You pick up the bill, you talk to them, you have a good time because you had already talked to them. So now it's easy. You can just continue that conversation in a beautiful setting, and you're more than likely going to get further doing that than just, some shit shack down the street and you put your nice the jeans that don't have a hole in the asshole part. I want to wear my jeans that don't have a hole in my asshole. She's going to think I'm fancy. Take her to Yard House. Someone's like, take her to Yard House. That's great. Alex, you should start a YouTube channel for dating. I do. It's called That Dating Channel. I'm going to start putting videos on it. Just go to That Dating Channel, subscribe, and I'll start putting videos up there. I just kind of made a channel real quick, and I'm going to start slowly but surely giving you guys advice if you become single at a later age, which could mean 30. Guys, look, trust me, a lot of you guys get a girlfriend early on, you get comfortable, you get fat, then you get single. And then you're like a lost puppy and don't know what to do, and you have a roommate and you live in a trailer and you're fucked because everything was done for you and you don't know what to do. So I can give some advice luckily I never fell into that. Then you can sort of get a sense as to what I went through and what to do and what to look out for. I'm going to give you a freebie right now. If you're in a relationship, don't get fat. Rule number 1, don't get fat. Because if you're both fat and your girlfriend starts getting skinny, you're about to be single. So don't ever get fat. Trust me. Rule number 1, being in a relationship, don't get fat. Because if she gets skinny, you're fucking single a year later. Trust me on that shit. Someone said, take her to KFC and give that girl a nice $5 fill up. Any dating stories? You ever gotten a chili dog from anal sex? A chili dog from anal sex? No, I'm not. I'm not. Not that I'm not down with that. It's just that's not like my go-to. Like, oh, I'm gonna fuck your ass right now. That's just not how I operate. Someone's like, make that YOLO channel. YOLO cannot coexist, because look what's going to happen is people are going to say YOLO is talking shit and he's going to hit up my boss, and the same fucking shit is going to happen. So YOLO can't come out. YOLO can't come out because I can't do like a halfway YOLO. I got to do a fucking full boat YOLO. What if you were already fat? MC J013. If you were already fat when she met you, then you're okay. But if you get fat, you're probably not okay. Jonathan Williams says, facts, learned that the hard way. Exactly, dude. Okay, so I have a 13 GT. Eric Shraven says, I have a 13 GT 6R80 with a PMAS, cooks, long tubes, and free-flowing exhaust on 91 octane. What kind of power would I gain on the 85? Probably about 20 rear wheel. 15 to 20 rear wheel is what you're going to gain, and a good amount of torque because we can shove the timing in that motherfucker. Someone said, post your fet life. I don't even know what that is. The fact that you know what that is might say something. Just look at that couch behind him. Yeah, it's pretty fucking beat up, especially right here. See? So no, that's how it was. I haven't smashed anyone on that couch. It's just something to put in this room because it's an empty room. It's another bedroom that, I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Who the fuck sleeps here? You don't get fatter. YOLO, make videos and I'll do them for you. YOLO, make the videos and I'll do them for you. I don't know what that means. F-150, S550. 13GT, what should I do with my first horsepower performance mod? A tune. And if you already have a tune, free flow and exhaust. I'm not going to get into like something delete. Free flow and exhaust, and a tune is going to wake it right up. Look up Coach Corey Wayne for dating advice. Fuck that guy. Listen to me. Fuck that guy. I'm going to give you real deal advice, not none of this feelings and emotion shit. Last place, 338 said, 18 GT 10R ported intake. Worth it? Ported throttle body or Bullitt throttle body? Nope. Stock throttle body. Don't fuck with throttle bodies. Leave the throttle bodies alone. Every single one of our 10-second cars that we tune have a stock unported throttle body. Well, most of them anyway. And if they had it ported, it didn't make a goddamn difference. When people fall in love, they get fat. Don't get fat. Don't get fat. Don't get fat. Hey, Alex, 13 Cobra Jet stick car. Finally going to pull the trigger on 1710 drag wheels. Watch your videos on 2011 leaning towards bias ply, mostly street car. What do you recommend? If it's a street car, do a drag radial. If it's a 17-inch, do a 305/45 17 ET Street R. Not a bias ply on the street. Alex, Jimmy gave me a 99 cents. Is that Australian? Danny Man 1010 says, using E73 on the 85 racing tune, would it cause the engine knock? No, it'll cause it to go rich. He says he got a 14 S197 LU47's 85mm Roush axle back stock manifold. It'll cause it to run rich, not knock. Daniel Valdez says, after I put it in the ass, she won't suck it. Then it smells like ass. Oh, that's wonderful. Keaton Parker says, Alex, what do you think about Pro Chargers? They make power. They're just not my favorite power adder. Nate T says, Alex, where will the Coyote platform go from here after the GT500? I think it's just going to go hybrid. I don't think the Coyote platform, where else do you take it? Like 5.4 Coyote based? 5.8 Coyote based? You know, I don't know. I don't think you can make a bore big enough and a stroke long enough to accommodate a lot bigger cubic inch on that thing or displacement. So I don't know, honestly. I think a hybrid is the next evolution, meaning keep the 5.2, throw a hybrid in it, or a badass 3.5 twin turbo like a Raptor spec, and with the hybrid have about 700 wheel on tap ready to fly with like the same torque. Insane in the membrane says, new channel sub. Thank you. I'm gonna start populating that with this. I'm gonna just talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you about dating shit, and hopefully you guys give a shit about it. And I'll try to include videos, situational stuff, animated stuff. I'll do my best to populate that channel, but I can make dating videos nonstop. I don't know if it'll pop off, but if it does, great. Alex, go make you a Twitter. I have a Twitter. It fucking sucks. Twitter's dumb as shit. In terms of daily driving, how reliable and dailyable will the CJ Twin 67 and cams be? Gen 2 Coyote. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just don't expect it to chop or anything. If you want it to chop, don't get cams because you want it to chop. Get cams because you want power. It'll be drivable. It'll be fine. No issues. How much horsepower can a Gen 2 Coyote hold before it shits the fan? Or shit hits the fan. And does it experience the same lockout as a Gen 1 Coyote? Gen 2 Coyote. Lockout like engine? No. The lockouts. The lockout, you mean the clutch? Yeah, I mean if it's a locking out in high RPM, it's a clutch issue, same as Gen 1. I have a 19 GT, George Campillo says. I have a 19 GT, car has flex tune and a PMAS cold air intake. Car stalls coming to a stop. Is it a tune or something else? Hit us up if we're tuning it. I think there's some downshift torque reduction stuff that could cause some of them to stall. So hit us up if we're tuning it. We have a fix for it. Tim Starr says, best lawn remote tuner in Oklahoma. I don't know if Lance Rainey has a dyno, but I think Daddy Dave Racing, they're dealers of ours, DDR. So hit them up, see if they're willing to take you on. But I'm not sure that they do remote tuning for us. They build a vehicle like a Ford F-150 or a 19 GT with a Whipple. We tune it, they send it to the customer. But I don't know. You might be able to call them and see if they offer that kind of tuning. But I know that Lance Rainey is also in Oklahoma. Where? Don't know exactly where. Jeremiah Camp says, is it Sergio's Fox that has that license plate? Maybe, Jeremiah. Alex, go make your Twitter. I already answered that question. Alex, I have a 2014 GT. Can I get 500 wheel horsepower NA? Holy shit. You need a lot of work to make that thing happen. Ported heads, cams, CJ, probably a ported CJ, fucking 8,500 RPMs. You might be able to do it, but I don't know how sustainable it is. Is a tune worth it? A stock 15 GT with a catback? Absolutely. The tune is the cheapest and the best bang for the buck you can get. $250, and that thing feels like a whole new car. A guy bought a built Evo and installed longer gears, and a day later it blows up. He thrashed his tuner for it. Said he would have gotten a new tune for long gearing. Who's at fault? Why would you get a tune for long gearing? What do you do? Like ramping timing slower? I no idea what that even means. 10 Star says they won't even return my calls. Then there you go. Go somewhere else. Try Lance Rainey on Facebook. See if he has a dyno or access to a dyno or a shop. But I don't know anyone in Oklahoma off the top of my head. Sorry. To follow up with that question, would it be beneficial to keep the NA3 Stage 3 comp cams when it comes to boost in the car? Yes. The NA Stage 3 comp cams are pretty fucking gnarly, and they even work with boosted applications. So don't get all flustered about NA versus SC. The NAs make power. Guess what cams the Blue Goose has? NA cams. Looking for a shop in Georgia. Who's good? I know that Steeda's in Georgia, but I don't know anyone else in Georgia. I thought the Gen 2 could do 800 before it gets sketchy. It can, but I wouldn't really count on that. What do you think about it's just a 6 Coyote? Piece of shit, right? Always broken. It's always broken. That's the truth. And I honestly think if the kid from, I don't know his name, isn't it like Gavin or some shit? If he wants to stop breaking shit, listen, I'm giving you some free advice. Yes, I'm talking to a YouTuber. Get with the people that do that often, and stick with the people that do that often. I see a lot of jumping around. I see shop, car, shop, tuner, and you wonder why your shit's always on blocks or on the lift. Stick with one that does it well. I'm not going to name names. I'm just saying, if you pick someone, ride out with that motherfucker, okay? Ride out. And I think you'll be in better hands. Carlos Finch says, my father is pulling his Gen 1 300,000 mile Coyote out of his F-150. Is it worth rebuilding and putting into another vehicle, or sell it and buy a lower mile engine? Sell it. Sell it. I mean, sell it. Trust me, sell it. Someone will get it for $1,000, $1,500, and you might be able to get a Gen 2 Coyote for, $3,000-$4,000. Just sell it. Trust me. Do you know if Carolina Speedworks is a legit shop? Of course Carolina Speedworks is a legit shop. YouTube corrupt anti-free speech liberal company. Of course. Hit up Jonathan Wilburn. Great guy. What's the dating channel? The dating channel is called That Dating Channel. Ian God says, it's just a 6. It's just an asshole, just like Speed Fiend. I didn't say that. Ian Good said that. Fuck, you guys talk a lot of shit. I just repeat it. Jay Valerie says, keep up the great work. LS guy here, but own a 15 GT also. Badass shit, so you're not a fuckboy. I like it. Look, most of my fans, especially in the beginning, were LS people because they loved that I ragged on Mustang owners because Mustang owners did dumb shit. So I had a field day with them. But LS guys, like real deal LS guys, they get what I'm doing. They get what I'm saying. And they like the fact that there's a Mustang-centric guy giving you as much information as possible and preventing you from making stupid common mistakes other people make. I don't know anything about the LS world, and I wouldn't even want to start because there's so much in Mustang that it just encompasses and just takes over my whole life. So I couldn't imagine adding another platform to my channel. But that would be good if there was an LS guy that would be able to do what I do. Relay the information, entertain, be somewhat funny. But I don't think there is any. I think LS guys like yearn for that. They're like, dude, we need someone that like knows their shit. I asked a very prominent LS guy. Guy has an 8-second ZR1, badass shit. I said, who is the best LS tuner out there? And he went like this. He went, there isn't one. I said, what do you mean? I see so many things online. He's like, and he thinks, he's like, I don't trust anybody with my car. I was like, so you don't you don't know, like, is there a Lund for LS stuff? And he's like, no. I was like, wow. Oh, blew my mind. But I don't know anything about that world, so I'm sorry. Bernie Gonzalez says, L&M NSR cams for a 13 GT500. Do you recommend doing any other upgrades to go along with the cams? How much power do you recommend before I build the motor? 850 is going to be your threshold for like, all right, shit might blow up, so let's not fuck around on the 85. Don't do stupid pump gas Torco shit like other YouTubers. But cams on their own, I would wait on cams, because cams are what, $1,300, and the install, you got to drop the engine. So that's another what, $1,300? So you're looking at like $2,500 to put cams in a car? Wait. Just get a 2.4 upper, 10% lower, cold air intake, 1050Xs, twin BAPs, E85. You'll be happy you did. Oh man, but I want cams. I want it to go. Yeah, you don't. It doesn't matter. Not for $2,600. When you can probably do all of that $2,600, you can probably do all the shit I just mentioned, and the car will be super happy. It's just the cams are like the last thing I would do. Okay, I'm going to start getting ready to end it. So every time I say that, you guys have a bunch of questions. So I want to make sure that at around 10 or 10:05, I'm going to cut it off. Being on for an hour and a half or so, I can't believe my voice has been pretty good today. I'm not sneezing and coughing and sound like I'm snorting coke. Pretty good. Someone said Pat G is the best LS tuner. Look, this guy that I asked is legit as fuck, and he mentioned nobody. Ryan Paquette says, are all BAPs created equal? Looking to go 18 intake PMAS, currently LU47s. Should I upgrade to push more fuel? 2012 GT for looking for 450. Yeah, it's a good idea. You can get a Vortec, you can get a Kenny Belt, you can get a VMP. As long as it's pushing about 18 volts to the pump, you'll be pretty good to go. Did you see Justin Johnson's video about the red Terminator that got tuned by dynoed by PBH? The Cobras were talking mad shit on the comments about you because you don't want to go wee. I'm not a Terminator guy. I don't give a fuck about the Terminator, bro. Like forever. Like, no offense. I don't care about that car. And I know it was badass for its time, and it's still pretty badass. I don't give two shits about a Terminator. I love Terminator guys that get butthurt that I make fun of the Terminator. So that's why I make fun of the Terminator. Because the Terminator owners are sensitive as fuck. I love it. Best LS upgrade is a Coyote swap. You ain't kidding. Dedicated fuel cell, C85 150 shot nitrous outlet Gen 2. Okay, Micah Brown just said that, so I just repeated it. Why not? Nate T says, do you guys tune built mod motors, or is it all Coyote based stuff? Coyote based. Look, if the mod motor had like, it depends on the computer that's controlling it, really. Like if it's a Coyote based computer, just like we did John's Terminator had a Coyote computer in it, and we tuned it with a 6R80 trans. That was pretty fucking badass. So yeah, it's mostly Coyote based stuff to answer your question. That Wicked Stang War Horse. What a name. Hi, Alex. I have an 18 DT with an X-pipe and axle back exhaust. Is it better to wait for the headers and cold air before I get E85 tuned by Lund? Nah. Get an E85 tune, brother. You'll be happy you did. I had an E85 tune on my stock 19. That made such a big difference. When I would go back to pump gas, I'm like, oh, that's so sad. You're trying. You really are trying. But it just wasn't enough. LS guys are busy sucking cocks and balls. Just kidding. You're not wrong. Andrew bent the rod in his 14 GT500, about 825 robo horsepower. That makes sense. Any downsides of a killer chiller on an S550? The looks, but I think it performs really well. That's the ticket. I think GT500 missed its calling by not installing a killer chiller setup, because now that people are boosting it to the moon, IATs are going to be an issue. Luckily, Demons come with a killer chiller. The Demon's pretty badass, guys. The Demon's a 9-second car with some minimal mods. So just like I said, unless this GT500 comes out swinging, I think people that just want to go fast in a modern vehicle are going to pick a Demon because the price is pretty comparable. And it's a proven car. The Demon is so proven right now. Killer chiller, 9 seconds with minimal mods, E85, a little bit more boost. It's pretty badass shit. You can't really sleep on those cars. Someone keeps hitting me up here. Okay, let me, Nate T, Adrian, Josh Miles. Ford put a McLeod RC on the 14 GT bone stock After a break and started, noticing the car creeping forward on cold starts when I engaged first gear. The dealer said it was clutch slip. Is the problem? No, I don't think it's disengaging enough. So if you clutch in and put it in first gear and the car starts and lurches forward, the clutch is not disengaging properly. Assman, how the hell don't you have more subscribers? I don't know. I don't care. Sure, I'd love to have more subscribers and reach more people and make more money ultimately. But at the end of the day, I think people are slowly but surely going to realize what this channel can be. And there's a backlog of like 200 to 300 videos where they're going to go, wow, I can't believe I missed out on this guy. But it's usually algorithmic. I say fuck shit motherfucker way too much. And YouTube doesn't like that because it's not ad friendly. So algorithmically, it doesn't get spread to the masses. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. Oscar Vargas says 13 GT with a CJ manifold and full free-flowing exhaust with 79,000 miles. Worth 21,000? Yeah, 18 to 21, depending on how it looks. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Okay, let me get out of here. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We talked 2020 GT500. We talked Mustang 2K, meaning Texas 2K not wanting to let Mustangs run in the heavy street or the full weight class or whatever the hell I want to call it. And we talked a little bit of politics, a little bit of YouTube bullshit. So, and if you guys want to do dating specific stuff, I do have another channel called That Dating Channel. If you guys do subscribe to it, I will start putting videos up this week. I'll put up 2 or 3 before Sunday. And hopefully those of you that want date specific stories can go there and leave this for car stuff. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk to you later.